When you're a sporting fan, Happy New Year isn't just about getting blasted in front of fireworks, but one of them is seeing the next generation of future superstars who are going to be making a statement, especially in the NRL. We have just been blessed in the past few years when it comes to rookies who have come out of nowhere. The 2023 rookie class was still probably a bit weaker, but we still got to see the likes of Buller and Taruva. And we have been blessed overall because in the past few years, especially that 2021 class, we got to see the likes of Sam Walker, Reece Walsh, and Jeremiah Nano all for the first time. So consider this the beginning of a series because I'm looking forward to a lot of rookies this year. I think it'd be one of the best rookie classes we've seen in the NRL, heck, in Australian sport for some time. And we're kicking off today with probably the most hyped out of the lot of them. I bet you know his name already. It is Tyrone Munro, the now 19-year-old phenom who really was the only shining light for South Sydney in the back end of their 2023 downfall. So today I thought, let's look forward to what we could see in 2024. So kick back, relax, and enjoy and react with me to some of his best highlights. Because this kid, as the title of the video suggests, is the next GI, Latrell Mitchell clone, who many are predicting is going to be the fastest player in the competition one day. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, smash that like button if you enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Let me know in that comment section below which rookies you think can be a real Rookie of the Year contender in 2024 in the NRL, and I'll be sure to react to them in future videos. Now, these clips are courtesy of the NRL Rookie Watch channel, which is probably one of the best YouTube channels out there who covers this sort of stuff. So I'll leave a link for the actual video in the comments section down below in case you want to watch it without looking at me. But you are looking at one of the great minds in rugby league, so I just suggest sticking around. So here we go. This is so a lot of these were probably, that's his debut, I think, against the Warriors in the pouring rain. One of the last Rabbitohs good wins of the year. A lot of people are calling this guy the next Latrell Mitchell GI clone, but oh, Jesus Christ, that's a bit loud. What's good about Munro, and I'm not saying Latrell Mitchell and GI were lazy by any means at the start of their career, but he's already in there taking the big carries, taking the tough carries. And from what I remember, I should have looked up his stats. From what I remember, he didn't have too many errors, and he's so fast. I mean, just look at the skill set on him. The R talks, he's going to move into a fullback, which for any young kid, I mean, that's just a given at this point. But what's really good about Munro, and yeah, I mean, that's just that acceleration off the mark for such a big body. You know, it's interesting. We look at guys like Nelson, and because of how big they are, I guess it's more of a weight issue than anything. But yeah, man, just look at that. That is just like, it's Greg Inglis or Latrell Mitchell. He's so quick as well. So many people have talked about him being, he's like, and I would still have Jason Saab above him, obviously, but he reminds me a lot of Saab, but he also, like, Saab has never had this breaking of tackles. And look, he still hasn't done it in the NRL. And by all means, I would rather Jason Saab now. But Jesus Christ, he's close. Like, this is, remember sideways cheese in rugby life? Well, do you guys know what sideways cheese is? When you have a really fast guy and you run around the back and then take a fine hole and go straight through it. It'll be interesting to see what South Sydney do because for better or not, there's always going to be questions around Latrell Mitchell. And I think that if Munro can really kick on, then maybe that can be the solution. Obviously, Munro still 4 or 5 years away from ever getting a sniff at fullback, even now that they've got Jack White. But just what's really good, like that was New South Wales Cup. So these highlights aren't against kids. Like these are against men. And obviously, I think that was from the state championship final. He was a gun in that game, which is really good because that's the best of reserve grade, I guess, in all reality. It's the state championship. It's New South Wales Cup versus Queensland Cup. So it should be the best of the best who's not in the NRL. And for him, I think he may have gotten man of the match in that game. But for him to get that as an 18-year-old, he's obviously 19 now. I think he turned 19 on Christmas Day, if I'm not mistaken. But like even something like this, that's a towering bomb, and he just takes it so cleanly. Oh, that's a good. See, that's GI. Is that him? He did the flick pass, or is that him just scoring the try? That's him just scoring the try. But whoever did, like this is from that state championship final. That's just one-on-one against the fullback, and he takes it cleanly. I'm not saying he's going to do that this year, but that you can't coach that. Like that's Jason Saab, like from even 2023. Just give him an inch of space and he's going to burn you. And the good thing for Munro is maybe later in the season when teams figure him out, But if he can be on that right side, that's just a dual threat because South Sydney left side is always talked about. If he can be there on the right side alongside Campbell Graham, he is going to be an absolute freak. You're going to give him an inch of space and you're going to have to you can't go one-on-one with Campbell Graham because 9 times out of 10, he'll beat his opposition center one-on-one or he'll run a crazy line. And if they do the 2-on-1 and Campbell Graham can draw some guy in, the amount of space you leave Tyrone Munro could absolutely cook you down the edge. I think it'll be interesting to see because obviously they got White and they got Latrell, but if he can somehow maybe even get a center spot during the Origin period, that'll be very interesting to see. But I think it's hard because they've obviously signed Jack White, and then there are rumors maybe he goes into the halves with Cody Walker because Lockie Ilias did have a bit of a poor season. But it's so hard because he's in the worst club possible. Not for they've obviously done a great job recruiting juniors, at least for the Sydney Roosters. But it's just how do you fit all these guys into those 5 backline players at South Sydney? But he's so good. I mean, all these highlights, it's just his speed and his tackle breaks, and even that's NRL. God, he is going to be an absolute freak one day, Tyrone Munro. So he's 187 centimeters. I think that's probably a bit off, especially he's really young, so he's probably going to continue to grow, but he's 85 kilos and he's that scrawny. So if he could put on some size, I'm not saying too much because I think especially as a rookie and if he's only going to be playing on the wing, you probably only need him to be maybe 5 kilos heavier just for the contact, especially coming out of his own half. But you don't want to lose that speed this early on. I think as he matures and gets heavier, the speed will come along with it. But I think for now, as much as it feels like Isaiah Tass for me should be in the South Sydney side somewhere, I think he's been really good. But when you have just an X-factor player, a superstar in the making on the wing like this, you have to keep him in the side somewhere. So guys, that is your game in the comment section down below. Where does Tyrone Munro, if he does fit into this South Sydney backline? If you enjoyed the video, guys, smash that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe because we're only going to be talking more about the 2024 NRL season as it gets closer to Vegas. So do the big 3, and I'll see you in the next one.